Hey, what is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. I hope you guys are doing really well today. It's another Breakfast with TNC. It's episode 4, the second upload in 2 days, so that's all good. For breakfast this morning, it's not very breakfasty, but I've got a Rivita with yesterday's tuna and sweet corn on it because there was some left over, and wasting food isn't cool. And in my TNC mug, I got some coffee. Now, a lot of you guys said you wanted to buy some TNC mugs, so I'm currently inquiring to try and get them at the cheapest possible price, and they should possibly be on sale sometime next week, so get ready for them. But yeah, Rivita, tuna and sweet corn. Very good. Now, you might, you'll learn when watching these, I'm not very good at making breakfast type foods. Like, I don't really eat cereal, although I did see Mick, one of my friends on Twitter, put that there's some cereal I need to try. I think it's a cinnamon one and Crave. Don't know what they're like, don't really eat cereal. Don't really like toast. So like sometimes I'll just eat like pasta for breakfast, I don't know. Anyway, let's get straight into the news because that's what you guys are here for. Actually, I don't know, you might be here to watch me eat Rivitas, in which case, I'm sorry, but that bit of the video is over. For now anyway, I might get a bit peckish throughout the video. But the first bit of news is all about our number one, John Ruddy. It's all basically about Alex Neil saying that John Ruddy is thankful for him dropping him when he did. It says here, Big John, since he came back into the team, I know he probably won't agree with me, but leaving him out was the best thing I could have done, because since then he has been great. Games like Newcastle are decided on fine margins. I've been saying all season there have been a lot of games that we could and should have won, but we maybe had a poor decision or not enough quality or a bit of quality from the opposition, and that was a great save at the end. And he's so true, Alex Neil. I think under managers like Neil Adams or Chris Hughton, they were too nice. They wouldn't have dropped John Ruddy. He's such a big, demanding presence, both mentally and physically. And to drop someone like John Ruddy, your number one, takes a lot of guts. And I think Alex Neil has that. And it's so good to see. You know, Alex Neil isn't much older than John Ruddy, but he stamped his authority down straight away. And that's something that needs to be done. He's not too authoritarian, but at the same time, he has that authority. And at the end of the day, it seems like this has paid off because John Ruddy has been absolutely fantastic. 2 clean sheets in his last 3 games. That amazing save against Papa Cisse, although I'm still not sure if that was going in or not. I think it was going round the post, but still a fantastic save. And Alex Neil sums it up here. My responsibility is to be brave enough to make a decision. If I don't think John is performing as well as he should be, to drop him out, and regardless of who the player is in my squad, I have the duty to rest the lads and give the club, to give someone else a chance. And I think Declan Rudd took his chance really well. I don't think he was poor. I think he made a couple of poor decisions, one at Aston Villa, but that was about it. And it's good to see we've got him coming through. Hopefully he'll stay at the club and be the future number one. Obviously he's got a few years on John Ruddy. But that's the first bit of news. The second bit of news, once again, comes from the Pink. And this video, I'm going to link all the articles in the description. So if you want to go and read them and go and give some love to these websites, please do feel free and go over and read it in full. But Paddy Davitt basically writing here about Gary O'Neill and Johnny Howson being the perfect double act for Norwich City. And they've just been an absolute refreshment and just brilliant for Norwich City. Who would have thought that Gary O'Neill and Johnny Howson would be the 2 players that at the moment keeping us up in this league? It's not over yet, of course. But O'Neill has been, we all know that Johnny Howson was a fantastic player, a box-to-box player with real ability. But Gary O'Neill, you know, he was more of a bench warmer, and he's come into the team and he's just been fantastic. And there's a really great line in here, which I didn't really think about. I love journalists that make you think about things that you don't normally. Paddy put, or this is a quote from Alex Neil that Paddy's picked out. He put, they've been really, really good. I think they're both technically as good a footballer as a lot of central midfielders I see out there. They can do everything, tackling, passing and shooting. It was a bit of a blow for us looking back over the course of the season. We lost Alex through suspension, talking about Alex Tete, and then injury. And then Gary got suspended at 3 games at Stoke. When going into that game, we built up a good bit of momentum. That undone us in that match and thereafter that. So that shows the fine margins in this Premier League. That shows that Stoke was the defining game. We went into that, I think, off a couple of wins or a couple of games unbeaten, and going down to 10 men there and losing our 2 central midfielders and Alex Tete and a Gary O'Neill was a huge, huge blow. And that was that sort of started that horrible run of form. So that was really good. The next bit is from the Daily Mail. Norwich City hitting the big timer from Adrian Durham. Now, I think Adrian Durham's the guy of TalkSport, in which case he's very, very annoying. But he brings up a good point here. The headline is Norwich fans don't need clappers to make a good atmosphere. So we're back on the clappers debate. Now, for me, if we would have lost, it would have been a debate that we could have had. But it kind of tarnishes the great performance on the pitch and the great atmosphere that everyone created with or without clappers. So I don't really want to go into it too much, but there's a few points in here that Adrian Durham brings up that I think is very true. The first of all, that Norwich City fans can create atmosphere without clappers. Most of the Barclay were doing it, but I think where clappers came into a positive light, and I think this is a good move from the club, and it's opened my mind up a bit, is that people who don't usually clap or don't usually sing, when they've got a clapper there, it's free as well. People love free stuff. They will start hitting it. You know, they'll start using it, and that's a really positive thing. So if you don't want to use a clapper, don't use it. But it's there if you want it, and that's a good thing. So you know, the Gerald stand was loud, the NMP was loud, the City stand was loud, and then you've got the Barclay all using, well, some of them are using clappers, I'm not going to lie. But that's really good. And where's the line in here that I really, really loved? It was basically saying, Adrian Durham said that the best atmospheres he's seen all season was at Leicester, where they used clappers, and was Norwich v Newcastle, where we used clappers. The 2 best atmospheres he's seen all season. Now, Adrian Durham goes to a lot of games, and for him to say that Norwich City has one of the best atmospheres in the Premier League, or the best he's seen, is brilliant. You know, I haven't always criticised. I think Norwich fans are probably the best in England, but we're not the most loud. We've got an aging fan base, which doesn't matter. But it's an argument you can use. I know a lot of old fans who go mad, but some fans just want to go there to spectate the game and just sit in peace. That's also very cool. But I think this is a problem across the whole of the Premier League rather than just Norwich City. To hear that us and Leicester have had the best atmospheres this season shows to me that this is not a Norwich City problem, but this is a problem across the Premier League that we need to look at. And I've done videos on atmospheres, safe standing, drums, flares, all of that good stuff. But it's good to see that Norwich City, the clappers did work. I fully expect them to be in use again against Sunderland. It would be crazy not to. And it's good to see that we've got a bit of positive journalism in the Daily Mail, which is read by a lot of people, especially online. And finally, this isn't really an article, it's the highlights from the under-21 game last night. We lost 2-1 to Everton, but I want to pick out a few players that I think are going to make it from that squad. We've got a centre-back called Joe Crow, who looks absolutely fantastic, a really demanding centre-back, still very young. The guy who constantly shines out for me, and I think he's fantastic. He's 16 years old, is a young lad called Glenn Middleton. He is absolutely brilliant. He's a left winger, he's small, he's quick, he's quite bulky, but he's just brilliant. He's 16 years old playing in the under-21 team. I would have thought he was the youngest player last night. And he doesn't look out of place. He scored a few goals for the under-21 side. He scored a lot of goals for the under-18 side. He was a pivotal player in the under-18 FA Youth Cup run. But he's just brilliant. So look out for Glenn Middleton and also Joe Crow. We've got the likes of Benny Ashley-Seal as well, who's a fantastic number 9, tall, quite lanky, but a fantastic player nonetheless. So that is today's news. Please do feel free to put your breakfasts in the comments section below. Do you agree with eating tuna and sweet corn for breakfast? I don't know. Let me know. And also talk to me about Gary O'Neill and Johnny Howson. Talk to me about clappers. Let's see what you think compared to Adrian Durham. And let's talk about John Ruddy as well, who's coming back in and made some fantastic saves. So let's show some love for John Ruddy and Norwich City, because we're in a good run of form at the moment. And let's hope this continues. So thank you so much for watching. Please do feel free to leave it a like. It'd be great to hit 100 likes again. We did it yesterday. We've done it on every Breakfast with TNC episode so far. So let's keep that up. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.